Do this for a bigger back. Hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchett with Theology, Geek, Fitness. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can train your back from home. And, well, I've done a video already of all the ways that I train my back. And to get a bigger back, if you're, have a frame like mine, you're probably going to need steroids. But for those of us who don't use any steroids or even HRT or anything, you want to train your back. It's kind of difficult at home unless you have a place to hang. So you start there. But I still want to say that pull-ups and then moving into weighted pull-ups are going to be the best way that you can build your back. Not everyone can do pull-ups, but you can work up to pull-ups. You can do body weight rows, and you can still do lat pull-downs. I always recommend people to get a pull-up bar so that they, even if it's just a doorway pull-up bar, so that they can get a cable pulley and something that's really heavy and start doing pull downs and things like that. But that'll help you work up to your first pull up, and, losing weight also helps. I remember when I was fat, getting my first pull up was amazing and it felt great. And then I got addicted and it became my favorite exercise. And if you're a former fatty, you know what I'm talking about, that getting your chin over the bar for the first time feels fantastic, or at least the first time in a while for me. I mean, I used to be able to do pull-ups for days, but I got fat and then I got skinny again, was able to get my chin over the bar for the first time in years, and it was great. And then you just kind of stick with that. So pull-ups and chin-ups, any kind of vertical pulling will get you there. So training for a bigger back, you want to do some sort of vertical pull movement. Pull-ups are the best, but lat pull-downs with a cable pulley or even just a resistance band can work you up to doing pull-ups, and you can use a resistance band to assist you in doing pull-ups as you go, or chin-ups or whatever. So that body weight rows, whether weighted or using a resistance band to add either assistance or resistance, that way is a great way to do it. Bent over rows with dumbbells or a kettlebell, that works. You can do bent over rows even, or standing rows with a suspension trainer. I like to do rows even with the T2 Fusion trainer, the shirt I'm wearing. Doing the bungee, going from that into the isokinetic feature of that's really great. But there's just so many different ways that you can go to train to get a bigger back from home. It doesn't have to be some insolvable mystery. I always recommend to people, a set of gym rings is pretty much all you need, plus some ceiling mounts. And I know some people have an aversion to drilling holes, especially if they rent. But I mean, you mount TVs, you mount pictures, you put holes in the walls. Putting holes in the ceiling is no big deal. You can just get some putty when you have to remove the mounts and stick it in there with your thumb, and it's good to go. So you just go to Home Depot. It costs like $4 or something. So I don't really get that. But there's so many different ways that you can train your back. But I focus typically on vertical pull being pull-ups now that I'm able to do them, and then progressing, doing weighted pull-ups. Then another thing is body weight rows for my second exercise that I really go to, and if I need to, I add weight to that. And then the straight arm press down, and particularly with band, you could do it with cable pulley machine if you wanted to. Dumbbell pullovers kind of accomplish the same thing, but for some reason, for me personally, just using a resistance band for my straight arm press downs seem to work great as the accessory exercise that I add to my vertical pulling movement that is most of the time going to be pull-ups, or my horizontal movement that's going to most of the time be body weight rows or weighted body weight rows. But sometimes I can even pull off seated rows if I wanted to with a cable machine, the way I have it all set up at my home gym. But really, just body weight rows is fine. But that's ways that you could train your back at home to get a bigger back, and it doesn't really have to cost a whole lot of money to get it done. You don't have to build an elaborate pull-up bar and dip bars in your backyard or whatever, or even drill holes in your ceiling for mounting rings and stuff. You can just very simply get a doorway pull-up bar, and it'll work fine. Don't be scared, especially if you get the cross grips, which I know costs a little bit more money, but still, hang rings off of them, doesn't damage door frames. It's fine. So getting a big back from home is not some insurmountable challenge. Doesn't even have to cost a whole lot of money. So those are my thoughts on getting a bigger back from training at home. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I appreciate you watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.